to the Reiki Women Podcast. My name is Carrie Varela. I'm the founder of the Reiki Healing Society, and I've got my two gorgeous colleagues with me today, Michaela Daystar with Heartscape Reiki, and Bronwen Logan from Reiki with Bronwen. And Bronwen is going to bring us to our final practice in this little trio of practices on cultivating your purpose and connecting to your purpose. And so Bronwen has a lovely meditation set up for us that we're going to be diving into a technique called Hatsureiho, but she's going to do method number 2, which includes some Waka poetry. And I think she has a really good one from her 21-day meditation series with Waka poetry from Japan. I'm excited to experience this meditation. Bronwen, take it away.
Thank you, Carrie. All right. So before we begin, I thought I'd just give a very brief bit of information about what the practice is. This is a version of Hatsurei Ho that we practice within the system of Reiki. It's a Japanese practice. It means generating greater amounts of energy. And the wonderful thing about this particular practice of working with the poetry, so the Waka. Waka means Japanese poem or Japanese song. And working with this, we can actually really focus on a specific theme. And fortunately for us, for these 3 podcasts that we've been doing, and this is the final one, they've been focusing on our purpose. So what is our purpose? And we are blessed to have a Waka by the Meiji Emperor himself that looks specifically at this and helps us to contemplate through his beautiful words what our purpose might mean and where we're at this moment and where we'd like to be. As Carrie mentioned, I do have a Waka course, which is called Waka Wisdom, and it's an online on-demand course, a 21-day course. And each day we look at a different poem and we contemplate it and we build up the practice, of which we're going to do a bit now. We build up a practice, which is this Hatsureiho version. First, we prepare ourselves, just like Michaela took us through in that first episode. We prepare ourselves by balancing the 3 diamonds. And then we move into contemplation, breathing down into the hara. So it's like a different version of Joshin Kokyoho that Carrie took us through, breathing down into the hara. And yet we have our hands in gasso. So it's almost like blending Seishin Toitsu and Joshin Kokyoho together. We breathe down into the hara and we contemplate this poem. And I will actually give you some suggestions for contemplation, because a poem might seem really simple at first, but when you start to contemplate it, you find all these layers of depth to it. And in fact, Waka, according to a Japanese poet today, is the oldest form of poetry in the world. And it is specifically Japanese, unlike a lot of the more spiritual practices that we know, which are actually coming across from China or India to Japan. This is a specifically Shinto practice. It works in the same way that the Indian Dharani spells work. So they're magical spells. They consider Waka to also be a magical spell. So keeping these things in mind as we practice. All right, so finding yourself relaxed, sitting upright, and just considering the 3 diamonds that we've been working with. We have the hara, that area in the abdomen that we breathe into, bringing the breath deeply down into the body, but naturally don't force it too hard. Breathing down into the hara, knowing that's our grounding through to the earth, our physical selves feeling connected to our world around us. Just breathing in and relaxing into our physicality on the out breath. And moving up to the 2nd diamond in the head, into that spaciousness, breathing into the hara, but feeling that spaciousness that brings our body up into the heavens. So the spine, the physical spine, moves up. The mind is open, relaxed. And the 3rd diamond, At the heart is where the earth and the heavens come together, and we allow our hearts to be free and totally interconnected with our world. So we're sitting upright, our minds are open, and our hearts are free to allow our true selves to just blend and mingle with the universe as the universe blends and mingles with us. So we're sitting in this lovely balanced space, bringing our hands up into Gasso, and setting our intention to practice the second version of Hatsurei Ho, so generating greater amounts of energy working with Waka poetry. So sitting here, breathing down into your bellies. I'm going to read you the poem a number of times and then ask you some questions about this magical spell. Breathing in, relaxing as you breathe out. Should we not achieve by the end of our lives what we ought to do, then merely living a long time would not really be worthwhile. Should we not achieve by the end of our lives what we ought to do, then merely living a long time would not really be worthwhile. Should we not achieve by the end of our lives what we ought to do, then merely living a long time would really not be worthwhile. What does your heart tell you that you ought to do in this life? How am I measuring the value of my time through minutes, hours, days, or through the depth of purpose? Continue to bring the breath down into the body. Should we not achieve by the end of our lives what we ought to do, then merely living a long time would not really be worthwhile. What would make my life worthwhile in its deepest sense? How can I align my daily actions from when I wake up in the morning to when I go to bed at night? How can I align these actions with this life's purpose? What unfinished work calls to me when I am still? Should we not achieve by the end of our lives what we ought to do, then merely living a long time would not really be worthwhile. If I were to leave this world tomorrow, what would I most regret leaving undone? What fears or blocks are preventing me from pursuing what I ought to do? Could we not achieve by the end of our lives what we ought to do, then merely living a long time would really not be worthwhile. Now bringing your hands to your body and placing them anywhere on your body. Think about healing, the intention to heal, to help to manifest your true purpose, and allowing that energy to flow and bring you into balance with your true purpose. If your hands need to move, allow them to move. Find the places on your body that you can support to help you be in the space of your true purpose. And coming back and bringing your hands up into Gasso in thanks. Thank you so much for sharing these 3 practices that we've brought you. And we hope that you've enjoyed them and you can come back to them at any time. And we also hope that they can bring you into the new year with a clearer picture of your true purpose and a sense of what that means in this exact moment.
And friends, we would love to know if you enjoy having these practice videos interspersed in the podcast. We'd love your feedback. If you'd like to see more of this kind of content, please do let us know. And of course, subscribe to the channel because that will make sure that you are well informed whenever we bring you something new, something delicious. Thank you so much for being in practice with us in these last 3 videos.
Thank you. Bye.